Well, how do you also explain the fact that he's not the first? I mean, we've also seen somebody in the stature of Senator Ali Ndume, for example. He's also dealing with a loss syndrome.
Ali Ndume's own is because he's not getting the patronage he expects. He's the longest, if not the longest, serving member of the National Assembly. He has been at the National Assembly since 1999.
Starting from the House of Reps.
Yes, started from the House of Reps. So what is he still doing there? He is part and parcel of the problem. He's part and parcel. He has no moral right. He has no gravitas to complain about what is that because he's part and parcel of the problem. What has he done in his constituency and in Nigeria as a whole? And from 1999 to today, he has been in the National Assembly. What has he contributed to the development of Nigeria? We are where we are today because of the insincerity of our political leaders. If it doesn't favor you, you want to rock the boat. That is the problem we are facing.
Has that changed under the APC?
Well, we are humans. So, and the APC is a conglomeration of individuals. So there are bound to be people with divergent views and opinions. But they are quite infinitesimal compared to the generality of members of APC who are supportive of this government and supportive of the programs of this government and who want to effect that change that we need. It is not easy. It's not going to be easy. Yes. We are feeling the pains. Everybody is feeling the pains. All we need and all that this present government is the support of everybody to be able to navigate through these turbulent socio-economic waters so that Nigeria will get to the destination that we all desire, the destination of prosperity, of development, of progress.
But interestingly, in his utterances, Amaechi did not mention President Tinubu, neither did he mention the APC categorically. But why are members of the APC falling over themselves to react, starting with Minister of State for Defense, Matawalle?
Which government is in power at the federal level? It is the APC government. So, infallibly, he was referring to the APC government. Which people is he calling to come out to protest against which government? The APC government. So, whether by inference or directly or whatever, he was referring to the APC government. The APC government is the government in power. So calling people to come and protest, for what? Amaechi has spent all his life in government. What was he doing before he became the member of the Rivers State House of Assembly in 1999 and became the speaker for 8 years? He became the governor for 8 years and minister for 8 years. So he has no right, no justification whatsoever to come and criticize what is happening because he was part and parcel of the people that plunged us into this socio-economic abyss that Nigeria have gotten itself into. All we need from someone like him is to lend his support to see how we will get out of, extricate Nigeria out of this miasma. Not to criticize people to come and protest against the government. What for? The government you contributed to the mess that we are in.
As it stands today, this is going to be a bit long drawn out, Chief. But let's talk about quickly how that it will appear Amaechi is not the only one, to use your term, who has not recovered from the fallout of the primaries that produced the then candidate, now President Bola Tinubu. Because we still see people who are more like the Buhari boys as against being in the Tinubu camp. Don't you think the APC needs to be proactive, take initiative, and see how those issues can be resolved stemming from the primaries and the election in 2023?
APC as a party, my party, have done all it can and is still doing, to rally around everybody so that we become a one united family. But in human associations, everybody must not agree with you.
Right.
There are bound to be dissenting voices. So we give it to them. But you should not, because you lost an election or the person you supported did not win, then you want to rock the boat. That has been the mentality of those that are doing what they are doing now, to bring the government down. There are things I wouldn't want to say on air, but they shouldn't push people to begin to open up and talk.
You see, this is interesting. Because Amaechi was essentially speaking to economic issues that Nigerians are dealing with. And then you realize that we are seeing even other figures within the APC, even some groups that supported very vehemently the president going into the election in 2023, also coming to say, look, there's need for you to take a second look at your policies. We're seeing people from even the president's part of the country talking about the western part of Nigeria now, some of those frontline groups, associations, all right, coming to say that, look, we need to rejig whatever strategy that we are using currently. When you put all of this together, does it not justify Amaechi's position on this matter?
It does not. You know, when you are playing a football match, it is easier for spectators to begin to criticize. But put the spectator in the pitch, let him go and play. You will see he will mess the whole place up. Nobody knows better than the president himself, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what he made on the ground. There are things that are not said openly, that Mr. President will not come out to say openly because he succeeded an APC government. The economy was in tatters.
So would he say them openly if he succeeded an opposition government?
I am coming. The economy was in tatters. What he is doing now is what previous administrations supposed to have done 40 years back. Now we are supposed to be enjoying by now. Nigeria is supposed to be enjoying by now. If these decisions that are being taken now, we are taking 40 years back because we had these problems all along. But they come, they pamper the problem and go. The succeeding government will come, look at it, let them not criticize me. He will pamper the problem and go. It wouldn't be out of place for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to come in and do like others have done. There will not be Nigeria tomorrow. But he said no. It is going to be painful, but I am going to take tough decisions to redirect Nigeria on the path of progress, on the path of development. We are going to face the pains. Some countries have taken some economic measures like this. They went through it and they succeeded. Greece had their own, but today Greece is out of the wood. Some African countries, the same thing. So they are out of the wood. These decisions are very painful to us now because we have not had it like this. We have been deceived all the years that things were okay. But we never knew things were so much bad. Now, this man came, Mr. President came to right the wrong. It is coming with pains, yes. The people will say, why not do it this way? Why not? There is no shortcut to success. There is no shortcut to a long-term problem. You don't bring short-term solution to a long-term problem. A long-term problem requires a long-term solution. So when you bring a short-term solution to a long-term problem, it will not work. That's why we talk about palliative. Palliative are just short-term solutions to whatever. So he is taking a long-term, providing a long-term solution to a long-term problem so that we will enjoy better. It will be better for us. It might not come immediate, but before the administration finishes its term, all of us will convert to thank Mr. President for doing what he has done.
You know, we have members of the APC, some of them very pivotal at the national level, who have formally resigned their membership of the party and moved on with their lives. We know those who have, for example, not even defected to other parties. There's a gentleman, Lukman, for example, up north, who has also been speaking up against some of these programs and initiatives of the president. In the past, governor of Kaduna State, Madam Nasir El-Rufai, we're not seeing him active in the APC. Instead, we've seen him visit members of the opposition parties in recent times. Some people are saying, well, this is some pointers towards 2027 and what have you. Is this not a depletion, a very critical one, of the APC?
It is not. Like I keep saying, in partisan politics, especially the one who play in Nigeria, they are about people, they are about to be movement. People will go, people will come. The party remains. There are people that will leave the party. There are people that will come into the party. But former Governor Rufai has not said he has left our party. He has not resigned his membership. So he's still a member of our party. He has a freedom of association. He is entitled to his opinions. But let those opinions be in tandem with the realities on the ground. Because all of them, they know what the problem is. And they knew the problem and they failed to take the decision they were supposed to take. He was part and parcel of this government. Since 1990, he has been in government. But he
has not been the president.
He has not been the president, but he has been in government. Part of the decisions he took and what we are suffering today. When he was the BPE DG, the privatized government business enterprises, are those enterprises, are they functioning today? The people they sold it to, who are they? Do they have the expertise, the competence, and the financial muscle to run those enterprises to give Nigerians the dividends that they need? What are we saying? They shouldn't allow Nigerians to begin to talk. This is not what we need now. What we need now is coming together of Nigerians to lend our support to the president to navigate us out of this bog so that Nigeria will be better for each and every one of us tomorrow.
Every time somebody speaks, along the line of what we have seen Senator Ali Ndume and Rotimi Amechi have done lately. The APC people, including yourself, would say is inciting, that you're inciting citizens against government. But we saw the APC, whether it was the AC or the ACN, over the years do that very well, and they didn't consider it as being inciting. So how do we strike a balance?
Now, as at the time those demonstrations happened, they converged at a place. There was no destruction of life and property. The profile solution provided an alternative. This thing should be done this way. This thing should be done. This policy is not good like this. You should do it this other way. But what are we seeing today? It is an incitement bringing people to come and vandalize public property, robbery, looting, killing of people. You have witnessed it. Even the last one they did in, I think in August or thereabout. Was it in August also? The one
there was 10-day protest.
Thank you very much. Look at what happened in Kaduna, what happened in Kano, and many other places. Outright looting, destruction of lives and property. Even here in Abuja, at Airport Road, people blocked the Airport Road by 8 p.m. at night, and they were demonstrating, robbing people. Those was not the demonstration that we saw the opposition did during the, I think, Jonathan era or thereabout. They conveyed at the place, they were singing, they were dancing, they were eating, merrymaking. They did not, stop people from, going about their businesses. But is it what you are seeing today? Today's own is called for anarchy because I am not in this government, I will bring this government down. A convergence of people who are embittered that they lost out of political power and they have converged to bring down this government. That is what we are seeing. And they are using their ill-gotten wealth to incite the people to sponsor these protests to bring down the government. But they will not succeed.
8 months into this government, President Tinubu had told Nigerians that it can't get, it couldn't have gotten any worse, that Nigeria has come to the worst of it, that the light at the end of the tunnel was about to start shining. Well, this has been almost a year and a half. That light doesn't seem to have been turned on at all. Won't you think, contrary to what the president has said again and again, that some things are not taking him by surprise?
The light is shining if you look at the indices and the statistics we are getting. Formerly, our debt servicing was about 90% of our revenue. But today it has dropped about 67 or more than below that percent. Formerly, we were borrowing to support the naira instead of borrowing to invest in infrastructure. It is no longer like that. Formerly, there were ways and means about 30 trillion was printed, and that is part of the problem we are having now. No more, he has liquidated everything about.
That also happened under the APC government, obviously.
It happened, yes. That was why one of the times, last times I came here, I told you that former President Buhari was not fully in charge of his government. His appointees were doing things the way they liked. He was not fully in charge, and they landed us in the problem. I don't want to dwell on that. So there are, things that Mr. President have done that shows there is light. At the end of the time, that light will keep shining and shining until it gets brighter and brighter. All he needs is our support for him to deliver on his mandate. Not this vicious criticism, not this vicious incitement against him and his government. The things are difficult, things are painful. Who are the people that contributed to this pain we are facing today? Did he just start? No. Somebody came to fix the problem. Allow him to finish. If it doesn't work out, then you can now crucify him. But I know it will work out. What he's doing is in the best interest of Nigerians. Though the pains are so much, but we need to go through the pains to enjoy the gain.
One would have thought after someone like Senator Ali Ndume had criticized the policies of this government and how that those policies have caused Nigerians a lot of pain and hardship. And then he met with the leadership of the party. They had a bit of reconciliation because politicians would ultimately say it's a family issue. I mean, one would have thought that would be the end. He would, turn a new leaf, so to speak. But he has also been raising his voice again about these same issues. Does that show that there's need for the APC-led federal government to do more in this regard?
I said before, all those their comments are born out of selfishness, not out of patriotism.
So there's no truth in it?
There is no truth in it. There is no truth in it. I told you he has been in the National Assembly since 1999 date. Does it mean there is no other qualified person from his constituency to represent his constituency?
There is a national issues.
I am coming. When the CBN relocated some of his departments to Lagos, he was the most vociferous for criticizing it because of his daughter or his children that were in the employment of CBN that will be affected by that policy. and he made it a northern affair because of his own selfishness, his own child. He want to protect his child. So all what they are saying are born out of selfishness, not out of patriotism or nationalism. No. The president is doing what he is doing. The mess all of them caused is what the president is trying to clean up. They should allow him to clean up that mess so that things will be better for everybody. They all contributed to the mess all we are facing today. All of them. They have no moral justification. They have no legal, the lawyers will say local standing to query what Mr. President did, the policies he has put in place now to clean the mess that they have, created for Nigeria.
One would have thought the APC would be a bit more welcoming, more embracing, more inclusive by ensuring that people like El Rufai, Amechi, Lukman, and I mean, all of these people who have now sort of split, so to speak, from the APC, will be brought together because the more the merrier, and they say there's strength in numbers. How much does that impact the APC, especially given that the APC may pretend about it, but the conversation about 2027 is already rife?
Let me tell you something. When Salih Lukman was the DG of Progressive Governors Forum,
right,
he was there attacking the APC government. They eased him out of the place. Then, during our national convention for our NWC members, El Rufai sponsored him to be the Northwest Vice Chairman. He came and began what he knows how best to do, to criticize, whether justly or unjustly. So Lukman's criticism or whatever, like I keep saying, is born out of loss of political power and patronage. Likewise, most of the people, the political stakeholders, you mentioned their names, most of them have lost out of the political power, political equation, and they now begin to criticize. Let me ask, when they were in power, what they are saying now, did they not see them? What did they do to solve the problems? When they held sway, some of them were governors for 8 years. What did they do differently to bring prosperity to their states? Remember, the states constitute component part of the federation.
Right.
If you develop your state, Nigeria will have lesser problems. I just came back from I traveled through Kaduna. My brother, if you travel through Kaduna with Medogo, there is no road. This is how many days that he left office. No road. I went to Kano. Maybe goes from NDA, that's the road that is fine. Driving within Kaduna with Metropolis, there is no road. And he was governor for 8 years. Is this how long has he left office? I don't want to begin to talk about other governors that did their bit and left and whatever, created more problems, and then now everything has compounded. Mr. President is trying to fix the problem. They are out to begin to criticize. When they were in power, what did they do to solve the problem? Nothing. They will do what they do and then get out of the power and begin to criticize. If they are not patronized any longer, they are not in the power equation, they turn critics, they become pro-people. When they were in power, we are they pro-people.
A gentleman like Ali Ndume was said to have lost his leadership role in the National Assembly because of his fierce criticism of the policies of the APC led by President Bola Tinubu. Beyond the political vendetta, as we always see in these cases, should people like that be suspended by the party, given Amechi as an instant case right now?
Well, you see, there is nothing like vendetta. The latter word you use, vendetta, does not arise at all. The party has its own internal mechanisms to deal with issues. Then under the National Assembly too, they are liberty. Members of the party are liberty to choose the leadership or whosoever they want to lead them. It is at their discretion. So it is not because he criticizes or whatever. No. And as a statesman or one of a political leader, when you want to channel your criticism, you know the appropriate quarters to channel your criticism. I have said it here in one of the programs, sessions I had with you. There are a medium of transmitting information, advice, or whatever across. So if you do not follow that channel, it doesn't show how statesmanly and a sound party man that you are. So the party has internal mechanisms on how to deal with issues of dissent from members and things like that.
people like former Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo, someone who was also instrumental to not just the APC, but the Buhari government for 8 years as the Vice President at that time. Can we also say, well, his distance, for want of better words, from the APC is also occasioned by the loss syndrome?
Before he became the VP, he's been a quiet person, a private person. Yes, he was commissioner for 8 years at Attorney General in Lagos State. After that, he has been a quiet person. Maybe that is his own way of life. He's not a loud type, or he's a very quiet person, a reserved person, and you give it to him. He has the right to live his life the way he wants.
All right, let's talk about, on the final note, let's talk about, Amaechi, before we look at about some economic issues along this line. When people like Amaechi talk the way he has done a few days ago, politicians will say he's running against the party, he's playing anti-party politics. But then they say he's inciting citizens. That should be a national security concern, actually. So why isn't the government picking him up on that grounds instead of making it political back and forth between him and party leaders?
I am not the security.
No, I'm saying, I mean, you are a leading member of the APC. Yes. I'm saying, why do you have to narrow everything down to politics when there are actually issues of national security?
Well, it is left for the security agencies to decide what to make out of the statement he made. But politically, the political angle of his statement has been tackled. So the other side is left for the security agencies to decide on what to do. If they feel that he has done something,
he has overstepped his bounds.
Thank you very much. It's left for them to decide what they want.
Do you think, or maybe I should say, don't you think that the fact that it was an APC government that succeeded another APC government, talking about the transition from Buhari to Tinubu, makes it such that President Tinubu's hands are tied in such a way that there are things he can't say now? Because if he had taken power from an opposition party, I know the APC, including yourself, probably would have been up blazing with two guns over the roof.
When former President Yaradua took over from former President Obasanjo, he did not come out to the open to tell the world what he saw.
Because that was his benefactor.
Thank you very much. When President Jonathan took over, from Yaradua by virtue
of death,
he did not come out to begin to talk. Yeah, it is an unwritten, what do I put it? An unwritten dictum that you succeeded your party. Your party is the same party.
So no matter how much of disaster they created, let's listen dogs lie.
All you need to do is to do your best to get the problem solved. Whatever problem you inherited, do your best to get it solved. Right, so long as it's from your party. If it is not from your party, maybe you will take other steps. But be that as it may, the government have come out to say as well that there are things they cannot keep. The ones that is supposed to be meant for public consumption, they have come out to say it. How the economy was bruised and battered.
That's when citizens turn the heat on the president.
Not even the citizens turn the heat. They have come out to say the kind of economy they inherited. The ways and means we spoke about. Remember, the government set up an investigative committee or panel to investigate CBN and government business enterprises and things like that. Yes, it's the same APC government. There are things, the information they need to have at their disposal to assist them in discharging their responsibilities and delivering good governance to Nigerians. So those that need information that need to be dispensed to the public are made available. But the one that government needs to tackle in-house, they go ahead and tackle it in-house and give us results. All we need is results.
That's right. Okay, so let's get a few more results from this conversation, everyone. But that means we're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll be looking at the fallout and the very salient elements that stand out from the narrative of former governor of Rivers State, particularly those that are socio-economic in nature. Do stay with us. Okay, I'm going to ask you this real quick. Obviously, the issues raised by Amaechi are purely economic in nature. Whether he has a political motivation for it is a different kettle of fish altogether. Serap is now asking President Bola Tinubu to reverse the price of petrol from 130 naira. Of course, that's what we know it's sold for in Abuja, to what it used to be, which was far less than 1,000. The NBA, the Nigerian Bar Association, is doing the same thing. We're seeing groups even within the APC, in fact, groups that supported President Bola Tinubu 100% between 2022 and even into the life of this administration, saying, look, you have to take a second look at your policies and programs. Yes, we know you want to fix the country, but people have to stay alive to watch you fix the country and enjoy the dividends therefrom. Is it not time the president took a deep breath and reconsidered these moves?
My brother, asking the president to reverse the fuel price to 130 naira.
No, from 1,000 naira. Yes,
is not practicable.
Why is that? Market forces.
Not market forces. There is a law that removed the fuel subsidy. The Petroleum Industry Act. It removed fuel subsidy. That law took years for it, after many amendments, presentations and representations of successive national assemblies, before finally it saw the light of the day, after inputs from industry players and key stakeholders in the petroleum industry, before the law was passed and assented to. It was that law that removed the petroleum subsidy, not President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So if you're asking him to return subsidy, then that law must be amended to accommodate petroleum subsidy.
They said reverse it. They didn't say return the subsidy.
It was that law that conferred on NNPC the limited liability company status as a private going concern, though owned by the government. So it's asking him to reverse the price. He was not the one that increased the price in the first place. You don't reverse what you did not increase. It is not practicable. It is painful we have found ourselves in this mess. But the question is, what has an NPC done to our refineries, our 4 refineries over the years? Why are those refineries not functional? We have seen successive administrations award contracts of turnaround maintenance on those refineries. At the end of the day, after gulping millions of dollars, no single drop of petroleum product is refined in those refineries. And each year, NNPC appropriates money for payment of staff salaries in those refineries that is not functional. Why? Questions should be directed to the NNPC to provide Nigerians with answers. Why are our refineries not working? If our refineries have been working, we wouldn't be in this mess. What did the successive administrations do to make sure that our refineries work? Who are the people that have contributed to the non-functionality of our refineries? Why have they not been brought to book? These are questions that should be asked. Successive managements of NNPC, what have they done to bring back to life and bring back on stream our refineries? Until our refineries begin to work, it will be difficult to reverse or to bring down the price of refined petroleum product in Nigeria. We produce crude, yes. And unfortunately for us, NNPC have mortgaged our future. Most of the products they have been mortgaged for debt.
Crude for debt, yes.
So it makes it so, it compounds the problem. NNPC should answer Nigerians. These are questions Nigerians should be asking, not asking Mr. President this or that. Or, no, it's not Mr. President. The Petroleum Industry Act has removed his hand from that. NNPC, we should direct our questions to the NNPC. Let them explain to us why our refineries are not working after pumping in hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, into turnaround maintenance. Look at the one that at the beginning of the timeline, it will start working today. Why? From the time NNPC began to import refined petroleum products, they made sure they killed the refineries and made sure that no refineries comes on stream. And anyone that comes, they want to sabotage it because they are making Nigeria dry through importation of petroleum products. Look at their template for pricing. Rubbish. Why? So the NNPC should explain to us why our refinery is not working. And then, when will our refineries start working? Let our refineries begin to work. And let them allow Dangote refinery to work. Let there be competition. The price on its own will come down.
But it's ironic when we say the president cannot Well, first of all, we say the president, the NNPC leadership should be asked what they've done with turnaround maintenance budget and allocation over the years. That the NNPC should be explaining to Nigerians. But the leadership of the NNPC is appointed by the president, serves at the pleasure of the president. So the question should also be escalated to say, what has the president done about ensuring that the leadership of the NNPC is flogged to line?
The president is barely how old? Because this leadership has been there over the years. I don't know whether you get me. SERAP should direct his inquiry using the Freedom of Information Act to NNPC to provide them with the details of what they have done. Not asking president or going to court.
So you can exonerate the president?
I'm coming. I do not know what he's doing behind the scene for now. I do not know. But I know he has something doing behind the scene. I don't know whether you get me. SERAP should direct his inquiry to NNPC using the Freedom of Information Act to extract information. Let NNPC explain to us. If NNPC whether they go to court, not asking the president. The president is doing something behind the scene. That I believe he's doing, and maybe in the not too long from now we might see the result. But in the present, in the immediate, the question should be directed to the NNPC management.
Oh, so the president's hands are tied on account of the PIA. But the same president was one that gave an order that crude should be sold to Dangote in Naira. So why didn't you also say, well, the PIA won't allow him to do that? That was a very critical intervention.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
That's why I told you that Mr. President is doing something. The law did not exclude him from intervening in such situation.
Right.
That was why he had to intervene and to show Nigerians that he has their interests at heart and he wants this problem to be solved. The one that is allowed by law for him to do, he has done it. But the one that the law precludes him from, he cannot do it. Cannot do it.
In light of this challenge, we're seeing we're seeing a few subsidiaries of the traditional NNPCL or the traditional NNPC get trapped in some sort of controversies because of this fuel crisis here and there, crude issues and what have you. Do you think it makes sense for us to have unbundled the NNPC some years ago?
Well, in the wisdom of those that did it, they thought that unbundling NNPC will, give room for better management, give Nigerians the dividends that they want. But the Nigerian factor still comes to play. The law, as fine as it is, will not, work on its own. It is the operators, those that are going to implement the law, that will make it work for the betterment of the people. It is the people that have been appointed to run the show, to implement the law, that are causing the problems for us. The intendment of those that unbundle the NNPC might be best for Nigeria. But those that run it to make sure that we get the dividends of those unbundlement, look at what they're doing to us.
Do you think subsidy has been removed fully, from what you know as a Nigerian and a member of the APC?
Officially, subsidy has been removed. Officially.
In practice?
Officially, subsidy has been removed. Government is not paying subsidy. Officially. So what we see is the power play of demands and supply, as the economists taught us.
So let's look at a few.
If subsidy has not been removed, you look at the price of the PMS in the market today. Is it what it used to be? No, officially subsidy has been removed. It is the power play of demand and supply, the market forces that we are seeing.
I don't know how much of sense this will make, but would you, quite frankly, and talking from a point of being dispassionate, also argue, like many persons have raised the concerns recently, that the leadership of the NNPC should be changed immediately?
I subscribe to that idea.
Do you think this leadership has overstayed its welcome?
They have overstayed its bound, overstayed its usefulness to me as an individual.
And you think that will change the narrative for the better?
Mr. President knows what to do. It will. Because when somebody sits in a position for a long time, corruption breeds in. And if you bring a new person, when you change the person and bring a new person, the new person will want to make a name for himself, to carve a nick for himself. He will want to introduce changes that will justify his appointment. So the present leadership of NNPC, they've overstayed their welcome. To me, as an individual, they need to be changed. Remember, they were part of the previous administration that did a lot of things that we all saw. They have overstayed their welcome to the best of my knowledge as an individual.
All right, so let's hope the president will find the balls to make some of these changes as necessary as they are. Thank you so very much, Chief Chibuna Obawike, for coming to talk to us about these issues this morning. We're taking a quick break, everyone. We have one more conversation this morning focusing on the security of life and property in Nigeria, but we're going to drill down to the northern part of the country. Do stay with us.